So let's move on to the next part. A small zone. Now, please try to understand in economy from a nation or a country or a state, whichever may be the form of government. Please try to understand. End of the day, this country will require something called goods and services. These are must for a country. Why? Is because goods and services will be directly linked to a person. So, this person has to consume. खाने का है उसको. He has to study. He needs books. He has to go on bike. He needs bikes. He needs to invest. He needs money. All these things he needs to consume. So to consume, these goods and services have to be produced. Therefore, in simple terms, for an economy to sustain, the basic things are production, second, consumption. And third one, as I said, you need capital formation. Please remember, it is not money formation, it is capital formation. So, this capital may be usually in the form of, let's say, आपका savings हो सकता है or your investments हो सकता है. It can be any of these forms. So that is for future. So whatever you save, that comes under capital formation. Therefore, what I say is, for these things to happen, a human being, it requires consumption. So consume karna means somewhere it has to be produced. Therefore, this is the funda of how economics work. I hope all of you have understood this. And please remember, the most important thing is the word capital. Money begets money. So money will get you back money. That's the whole point. Right. Now let's move on to the next part. Now, I told you very clearly the first phase is production phase. So to produce, you require somebody or some machine or something to perform and produce. So what are those factors of production? These are the major points: land, labor, capital, and majorly, please try to understand something called entrepreneurship. These major things have to be kept in mind. So please have a glance at it: land, labor, capital, and entrepreneurship. These are the major things that you need to know for things to happen. Now please try to understand. Now this capital again can be divided as human capital and fiscal capital. So when I say human capital, again think in terms of money. Human capital is, instead of money, you have your efforts put in, and those efforts give you a product, and that product is again coming back to you. That's called human capital. What you put in terms of your hard work and effort, that's called human capital. While physical capital is all the machinery that you buy, makes products and all these things. And to get all these fellows involved, you require an entrepreneur who gets all these works done. The idea is an entrepreneur. So I hope all of you have understood this. So fundamentally, From the factors of production, you have to understand, for producing, you require land, labor, capital, entrepreneurship. Now, this capital again is divided into human capital and physical capital. Now, ye sab hone ke liye, for all these things to happen, you require an idea, someone who builds or connects the land, labor, as well as the capital. Someone who's able to involve all these guys. He's called an entrepreneur, and this concept is entrepreneurship. For example, let's say, I want to build a factory which is able to produce laptops. Now, what happens? I take a land. Therefore, I take a huge land from the government, if required. Then, to produce those laptops, I require someone to work on making the laptops. So, I require labor. The labor may be technical labor or a hard work labor. Both of them will be required. Now to generate those laptops, I require to buy a lot of machinery, I require a lot of people, and I have to give salaries to the people, I have to give wages to the labor. So a lot of money will be required. I should say money, because I have still not invested. Now once I start putting this money on this capital, as capital, if I put them on wages or something like that, then what happens is, once this is done, my product is developed, and I start selling the product. This product, after selling, will give me back my money plus the profit. For example, for production cost, let's say it happened to make a laptop, let's say it is 20,000. After selling it, I get, let's say, 47K. So on each one, I am making 27K profit. But you also have to look into how much cost has occurred to me to make this laptop. So this laptop 20K involves my cost for the land, for the labor, for the capital, and for my idea, because I also take a little bit of money from that. So involving all these things, it will cost me 20K. Now I need profit, because for this to sustain, I'll require more income, because for the next year the cost will go up. They have to keep that inflated thing in mind, and so I raise my rate to 47 to keep me safe for the next 5 years and the company to run. So looking at this is how the concept works. So any good to be produced, you require service. For any goods and services to work, you require capital. And for any capital, goods and service to work together, you require a beautiful idea which is given by the entrepreneur. I hope this logic you have clearly understood. So that's all for today. I hope you've understood, and I'll come up with another new one tomorrow or the after. Thank you very much. Bye.